Doesn't it make you wonder to this very day how our grandparents, our ancestors, our great grandparents not only survive, but they thrive sometimes on very, very little and they never complained about it? Let's talk about their wonderful habits that really help them get through tough times. And I'll be back in a minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, this is Jan. Welcome to another episode on my Save Money and More with Jan channel. How you doing today? As always, hope that everybody is doing well. Thank you for coming back this afternoon. As you might know, I have a 5 o'clock show in the morning, 5 a.m. I know it's early, 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 but it uploads at 5. Doesn't mean you have to listen to it at 5. Although, don't get me wrong, I'm glad if you do. But it is there at 5 o'clock. So if you get up at 7:30, you want to put on a little bit of morning cheer, turn it on. It's only 5 minutes or less. Thanks again so much for being here. How is it that our ancestors, our grandparents, our great grandparents, they survived on very, very little? And to the best of my knowledge, I heard hardly ever complained about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have a lot of modern conveniences today. We really do. And yet, and still, we complain. Oh, we have to push too many buttons. We have to, like figure out like the numbers on the dial and like figure it out. But back in the day, people did a lot of physical work. But you want to know something, to be honest with you, in a weird way, I think, this is my opinion, that the old timers lived a less stress filled lifestyle than today. Do you realize how much one is bombarded with information, even like in a few minutes' time in the morning in our generation? Back in the old days, if you wrote somebody a letter, it took about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get there. I'm not kidding. I'm talking about a really long time ago. And the only way many people got information if they were lucky enough to afford to be able to read a newspaper. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, we are so filled with so much information. In our own weird way, we have a lot of stress. But let's dial it back for a minute, all right? I think getting back to basics, I believe getting back to more simplicity is a wise thing to do. Number one, the less stress, the better you feel, the more perfunctory we are. But back in the day, especially people of a certain age, we remember this even in our own lives. If we pay for something with cash only, we're going to feel the pinch more than a person that was born that all they know is like digital currency or paying everything, through a credit card or debit card, and not really understanding the feeling of like, here's cash and et cetera, et cetera. You have to pay for it and feel the pinch. I'm telling you. So back in the olden days, people paid for things with cash. That may not be relevant to someone younger, but in our generation, it is relevant. You're going to feel the pinch. All right. Next, back in the day, people kept things, they made it have lasting power. They would either mend something, fix something. Today, everything is so disposable. I mean it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of disposable items, don't get me wrong, they are quite convenient. I'm not saying that. Throw away this, throw away that, paper towels, napkins, all that, paper plates, paper cups. I'm just saying, obviously, very convenient and it's great to have them. But in general in life, especially with clothing, okay, people wear something once or twice, they don't like the color of it anymore. And right away, either they're right away throwing it out without even thinking. Some people don't even think that maybe somebody else could use it. They don't even care maybe about even selling it. I'm just saying, we live in such a disposable society at the moment. Not sure if that's the greatest thing. I don't think so, especially when it comes in terms of saving money. Here's a wonderful concept. I have mentioned it once or twice in my lifetime. How about cooking at home? I mean, back in the old days, people cooked at home and never thought twice about it. That was just like a given. It was just a given. I mean, going to a restaurant was considered a humongous, incredible treat back in the day. It was like an incredible treat. That's the way people viewed going out for a dining experience outside back in the day. But for the most part, people cooked at home the old fashioned way. Okay. Back to basics, good stuff that you know what's in your food and it's best for your family and definitely better on the wallet. I think these ideas from back in the day were great. People didn't just always buy brand new furniture. People would mend, people would fix, people would repair before buying new furniture. Well, while some of us may be not in the mood of mending, fixing, and repairing furniture, the best thing we could do, or the next best thing we could do, is visit, for example, a secondhand furniture store. And especially for people that, in my opinion, this works. If you have like young children around that jump all over the furniture, that's not the time, in my opinion, to buy the most elaborate sofas and stuff like that. Kids tend to jump on things, make things dirty quickly. They don't mean to. It's just being a kid. You see where I'm going with that? That's about the one of the best times to get a secondhand but sturdy sofa or chair. You see where I'm going with that? I think that old-fashioned thought makes a lot of sense. So especially if you have young ones around, go the secondhand furniture route. Not to mention it'll save you some money for sure. And as far as money management, cash management, using the good old envelope system. It worked back then and it works now. People did that back in the day. People did the envelope system for quite a while. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a new concept. And I even mentioned this in a not long ago recent episode on one of my videos. I remember literally my grandmother on my dad's side having a discussion with my uncle and my dad about the cash envelope system. That was way back in the 1960s. And grandma was already elderly back in the 1960s. So she was apparently doing that for quite some time. So, you know where I'm going with that. There's another place I like to go with this. And don't forget to do the following. There's something else I'd like you to remember always, always, always. Come on. Even though our wonderful folks are long gone, their methods and their principles that are wise still do live on. And I think it's to our best advantage to let it go and carry it further so that even our own kids and grandkids can pass along some of these great, wise traditions. Have an amazing, fantastic day, everybody. And here's a little bit of a happy sound for you. Taking good care of yourself and your wonderful family should never, ever, ever go out of style.